the man who never saw a woman in his 82-year life. In human history, there are some stories that are not merely fascinating but also raise profound philosophical questions. One such story is that of the Greek Orthodox monk Mihailo, who was born in 1856 and is claimed to have never seen a woman throughout his entire 82-year life. This story is linked to the monasteries of Mount Athos in Greece, where women have been strictly forbidden entry for more than 1,000 years. After the death of his mother just a few hours after his birth and in the absence of a father, the infant was left at the gate of a monastery, where monks took him in and raised him. His life represented the extreme form of isolation, compelling reflection on fate's unpredictability and the nature of human struggle. This article examines the historical and cultural background of the story, explores its psychological and philosophical significance, and considers how it challenges modern understandings of freedom, gender, and human experience. To understand the uniqueness of Mihailo life, it is essential first to understand the environment of Mount Athos. Located on a rugged peninsula in northern Greece, this holy mountain has been a stronghold of Orthodox monasticism since the 9th century. It contains 20 monasteries and several smaller monastic settlements, where nearly 2,000 monks are engaged in prayer, asceticism, and spiritual contemplation. The most distinctive feature of this region is an ancient rule known as avatun, enforced since the 10th century, which prohibits the entry of women, female animals, with the exception of cats used to control rodents, and even beardless young males. This restriction aims to preserve the monk's chastity and spiritual focus and is rooted in a legendary visitation of the Virgin Mary, who is believed to have declared the mountain her exclusive garden. This rule is recognized under Greek law and by UNESCO's World Heritage Design. This rule is recognized under Greek law and by UNESCO's World Heritage designation, making Mount Athos one of the most isolated and gender-segregated places in the world. Mihailo was born in 1856. According to the story, his mother died only hours after giving birth, and no father or relatives came forward. The infant was left at the gate of a monastery on Mount Athos, possibly the Great Lavra, where monks sheltered him, gave him a name, and raised him. He grew up surrounded by the scent of incense, the sound of prayers, and the ringing of bells. He never stepped outside the boundaries of the monastery and strictly adhered to monastic rules. He died in 1938 at the age of 82. According to a Greek newspaper report, he never saw a woman, nor did he encounter a car, a telephone, or any aspect of the modern world. His knowledge of women was limited to the Bible and religious images. These details make his life a symbol of complete detachment from modernity. This story challenges the concept of destiny. In ancient Greek mythology, the Moirai, the three fates, cut the thread of life. Telotos's life also appears predetermined from birth. Was it divine will, coincidence, or the result of human decisions? Philosophical determinists would argue that it was the logical outcome of environment and circumstances. Existential philosophy, however, such as that of Jean-Paul Sartre, suggests that even in isolation, there is freedom of choice. Perhaps Telotos himself chose the spiritual path. Thus, the story highlights the tension between fate and free will. Psychologically, one may ask what effect such complete isolation would have on human nature. Modern psychology emphasizes the importance of social interaction for human development. Telotos's life was devoid of sexual and social experiences, yet filled with spiritual calm. Does this represent the height of human resilience or a form of deprivation? Philosophically, the story raises questions about gender separation, freedom, and the limits of human experience. In a modern era that emphasizes gender equality and personal freedom, it reminds us that some lives are bound by circumstances beyond individual control. Note, this story is based on a brief report published in an American newspaper in 1938 and has since spread across many websites. However, no solid historical evidence confirming the existence of this individual has been found. Some scholars consider it legendary or exaggerated, as such complete isolation is questionable even under the strict rules of Mount Athos. Nevertheless, the story remains compelling as a symbol of solitude and spiritual struggle. Ultimately, this story forces us to reflect on how unpredictable life can be and how circumstances are sometimes beyond human choice. The life of Mihailo Tolotos serves as a mirror reflecting the complexities of the human condition.